Alright, so here we have iFlightRC's latest frame, one of the latest frames anyways. This is the iFlight Transframe X5 220mm frame kit. And as you can see, it comes in a very fancy box, pretty well protected. It's hard cardboard, some stickers, still protected with a couple of layers of this dense foam. Pretty good. This can be used for various other uses. And finally, here's the frame main plate. Very nice carbon, like really nice rounded edges, very smooth. Anyway, let's continue here. So they give you a rubberized battery strap, some hardware, various M3 screws, countersunk screws. Also they have these pretty nice, very light, like this feel kind of light, nice standoffs. As you can see, there's a full set of standoffs right here. 4 of the same size and 2 slightly longer, and the rest of the plates are in there. So actually pretty simple frame. There's only 4 plates, 1 top plate and 2 of these side plates, and then the standoffs, and that's it, and the hardware. So pretty simple, should be very easy to build. Alright, so some of the features on this frame, they're saying this is a full 3K carbon, and the bottom plate is it's got this kind of 45-degree round cut, and the finish is supposed to be coated. I don't know what they're coating it with, but you can see it's very nice, kind of like matte finish, a kind of dull finish. It's actually kind of nice. It's not like that shiny finish that you get in other frames. So this is kind of like a neat kind of finish, and the way they cut it, pretty nice. It kind of follows the weave. Carbon fiber is several layers, so each layer will have different direction. But it's kind of neat that they chose to use the surface layer with the weave showing kind of aligned. As you can see here, it's kind of nicely aligned with the way they cut it. Same right here. So that makes it look like high quality as far as appearance. So basically this is 4mm plate, and these are 2mm. These are 2mm, so pretty good thickness. And the standoffs are 25mm, and these are 28mm, and these are 25mm. Let's put it together and see what it looks like. Okay, so let's just have a quick measure of the plate. 4mm. So yeah, that's pretty consistent too. Pretty consistent thickness. So very high quality carbon plate. And these are about 2mm each. So 2.18 on my calipers here. Pretty consistent. They're all measuring about the same. So pretty good quality plates. So the only criticism I have here on this main plate is the holes that they've routed here. Of course, they have the 4 usual holes for the motors, and then they have these other ones. I guess these are for like smaller motors. I'm not sure what they needed to do these long holes right here. Basically, you just need the center hole for the motor shaft, and then the 4 holes to mount the motor. But in their defense, they did provide enough material between the mount holes for the motor and the edge of the arm right here. So that's pretty good. You know, there's a lot of material from here to the edge and from here to the edge. So this should not be like a major weak point right here. A lot of the arms actually break. They'll break right here because there's hardly any material there. In this case, there is a good amount of material there, so you know, and with the combined with the 4mm thickness, should be okay. Should be okay. So that shouldn't be a weak point. Same thing right here. They do have these holes right here. This is for the standoff, but there's plenty of material here on this side, and I guess the weak point would be through there. But it seems like there should be plenty of material. So if you follow that, there's plenty of material here and here. So it should hold up, I think, in most crashes. Of course, you know, no frame is 100% crash proof. I mean, some come pretty close, but this one, just by, you know, just kind of mainly guessing, you know, I'm just guessing here that it should be decent for most normal crashes. Just looking at the amount of material they took out, you know, but it should be okay, I think. And as far as rigidity, it's you know, there's some flex, but it does take some force to flex it. So there's it's normal, I would say. It's like normal flex. Now this should be slightly better. I'll try that again once it's put together. This might the plates might be able to supply a little bit of stiffness. When you put a plate on top with the standoffs, it kind of braces the whole thing, so it should provide a little bit of stiffness. So we'll see that. And actually putting together, it's quite easy. There's hardly any parts to put it together. It's basically 3 plates for the top part, and basically this one just kind of slides. This plate just slides like so, and then this other one just goes like that. And actually the tolerances on the parts is pretty good. Everything goes in quite easily. There's no force to be used. Everything goes in pretty easily. So the machining is pretty good on these frames. Okay, so one thing you have to make sure is these bevel holes are at the bottom, because that's where the screws go in, and so they end up flush with the bottom plate. So that goes like that. Goes pretty easy. And then the standoffs go right here. They give you 4 short ones. I think they said they're 28 millimeters, and there's 2 long ones. So these short ones go right here, and then these longer ones go, they'll brace the plates right here, right there. So alright, so there it is. Pretty easy to put together. As you saw, it's very simple as far as parts. There's not that many parts to it. And as I was saying, yeah, it seems that this cage does provide a little bit more rigidity. So because now it's braced from here to here, so it's not bending across the whole length. So that's pretty good. All right, so once built up, let's get the weight on this frame. It's 100 grams, so 100.3. So 100 grams for this frame. It's not the lightest, but it's not that heavy either. So 100 grams is pretty reasonable. Not bad. It's good. It's a good weight. Most of the really light frames, you know, those hyper lights are 65, 70 grams, and the ones with the really skinny arms, those stick arms, those are usually 90 grams. So 100 grams is pretty respectable, I think, for a 5-inch frame. Not too bad. And as far as geometry, this is actually a true X shape geometry. So it's about 155, it looks like. 155 by 155. On diagonal, it's 220. So 220 by 155 and 155. So true X, you know, a lot of people still like flying this X shape as opposed to the stretch versions. And as you can see, it's got this indentation here for the battery strap. So that's pretty good. It's kind of different. And the good thing about these bevel edges is that they won't dig into your battery strap. Eventually the battery straps do wear out and they'll tear because of the sharpness of the carbon fiber. It's very abrasive. But in this one, I mean, it's like really nice and smooth. So you should always use a file. You could always file, you know, your other frames. So it's got the cage for the camera, so that should protect the camera pretty okay, I think. It's got this portion here that sticks out, so that should also protect the camera. If you run into a pole, you're gonna be at an angle like that, so this portion should protect the camera. But anyways, just don't run into poles, I guess. And they do have these for your GoPro, and they provide the hole there for the strap, so that's good. It still has this other portion here which is kind of protected. I imagine that would be maybe for your receiver, because the space is limited here. There's only, yeah, it's only gonna be about 26 millimeters from here to here, but when you take into account your standoffs, then it's even less, of course. So it depends on the height of your standoff. These are usually 5, and if you choose to use those soft mounts, then you get even less. There's plenty of room for a 4-in-1 or a PDV and your FC and your ESCs on the arms, of course, and perhaps your receiver or your VTX here, one of them, and maybe, or you may have to put your VTX here, and it's gonna be protected by this right here. But now the receivers are so small, you can maybe put it in this portion here in the back, so you might be able to still get the VTX in there, but it'll be tight. But there should be plenty of room, I think. Most of the components now are pretty small. So okay, that's the overview of this nice frame. Alright, so here's the good news. iFlightRC informed me that they are willing to donate a giveaway frame of this exact same model, their Transframe X5, and so this is pretty much one of their premium frames, and they asked me to give one away. Alright, so here we have the frame that iFlightRC.com donated for the giveaway. This is the exact same frame that I've just reviewed. It's the iFlight Transframe X5 220mm frame kit, and this one just arrived yesterday. They sent it in via DHL with a couple of other parts that I'm gonna be reviewing. Actually, it's 2 motors that they sent me. Their new motors. This is from their new series, the Ion FPV motors, and it's 2506 2450 kV and a 2207 2500 kV. So good to see these 2207s getting released lately. 2207s, of course, are, I think, pretty torquey motors, so they work well for most builds. For most people that want to do freestyle, this 2207 is a good size. They also sent me this other frame that I'm gonna also be reviewing soon, so keep an eye out for this one, the iFlight H5 220 freestyle frame. Again, thank you iFlight for donating the frame as appreciation to my YouTube viewers, so they offered it on their own, so that was really cool of them. The only thing that they do ask you is to please go to their Facebook page, hit the like button, and share their website. I'll put the link on the video description at the bottom. And the other thing, of course, is you have to enter a comment on the video, and you have to be subscribed to my channel. So just three rules basically. Enter 1 comment, don't enter 2, because I think those comment selector tools that I might be using, I still have to find one. Some of those will disqualify people that have 2 comments. So just make sure you have the 1 comment and it's by itself. Don't hit reply on somebody else, just the 1 comment. This is limited to United States addresses only, so sorry about that. You know, if you're outside of the States, shipping out of the States gets a little bit expensive. Paying $25 to ship it out of the States, it's half the cost of the frame, so it doesn't make sense. So sorry about that. If you're in Europe, I don't know how much shipping costs, but if you enter and you want to win it and you're in Europe, you'd have to pay shipping fees to you. So if you want to receive the frame, otherwise it's gonna go to the next person that qualifies. So to Europe, I don't think I can pay the shipping, because usually it's, I don't know, I guess around $20-25. But if you still want it, I mean, of course you can pay for that. I'll pay whatever cost that I was gonna pay to ship it in the US, which is basically around $7 is what it costs to ship anything in the US. Those are the limitations. Really nice frame. So if you were thinking of building a nice frame, this is one of them. You saw it. It's really nice frame. So I'll do the winner announcement in about 1 week, so that gives enough time for everybody to find out about the contest and enter. I think about a week is fine. A week and a half. So check back in about a week and a half or so for the announcement. It'll be either on one of the motor review videos, or I'll just make a short quick video to make the announcement. So keep an eye out for that, and then I guess we'll contact each other through either email or YouTube. That way you can give me your information. Good luck, and hope you guys like this frame a lot.